to you live from the mountains of smoke. Firekeeper recovery bringing you hope. If you're living in darkness, look for the light, cause our fire is burning to helping you fight. It's the firekeepers, the firekeepers, 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 recovery. Bumpin' BG, talk recovery. Firekeepers, firekeepers. Welcome to Firekeeper Recovery. I'm Brant.
Wilfer Smith.
And we're Jeremiah Pheasant.
There we go. Thank you. We're joined by Jeremiah today. Another special episode, so stick around.
The guy who puts the cove in recovery.
Hell yeah. And we'll do a quick check-in since our last episode. My life's going pretty good. I'm just doing the same routine while I have to right now. Things might be changing, but we'll talk about that in the coming weeks if they do change.
Right on.
I don't like to jinx it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just going with the flow still, feeling good, being in the present.
Absolutely. Yeah, well, it's the same for me. You know, my kids are off to the beach with my sister. I think they come back and they're off to Sevierville now, having a good time. So I'm happy that they're having a good time. I've just been staying home and taking it easy. You know, going to work in the day, and then in the evening time I can find shit to fill my time till I go to sleep. So I think having a solid foundation, you know, this long in my recovery is really what makes that possible. You know, where I'm not got any ideas or inklings to go out and find trouble, because that's one thing that's easy to get into and hard to get out of is fucking trouble.
Yep. I've been good. I ain't been doing nothing. Basically the same thing every day, just like y'all. I'm just working and staying home, and wife keeping me in check. We keep each other in check anyway.
Yeah.
Because she's my rock that holds me in place. If something were to happen to her, I think I would probably lose it. But we just take it easy. We got major news, and we'll bring that up when the time's right. So until then, but other than that, I've been working, staying home, staying out of trouble. Still trying to go to class like I like to do, as much as possible. Other than that, that's about it.
Yeah, I still like getting in some of those recovery groups when I can.
Yeah.
It's fun just to see everybody, see all the new faces.
Yeah.
See the same old faces that have been going there.
Yeah, and what's good is how there's been like at least 3 or 4 new people that showed up in the recent weeks.
Yeah.
And it's always good to see new faces, like you said. Anything to help them spread the word to get more recovery put out there to help our friends and their loved ones that might be needing help.
Yeah, recovery's where it's at. For, you know, if you want to have any kind of quality life, you know, you have to make that transition.
Yep.
So, speaking of that, what was it for you, Jeremiah, that kind of turned the tide for you moving out of active addiction into recovery?
Well, what led to it for me was I was dealing for this lady down in Atlanta, so the drugs were there, and it was not hard for me to get in. And I just started using so damn much that it just wasn't working no more, and I just needed something to make me feel normal for the day.
Yeah.
And I started getting to where I didn't want to fuck with that woman.
Yeah.
But I just didn't want to mess with that woman no more, so I let her know that I'm going into treatment. So I didn't want to be part of that life no more, because it wasn't for me no more. I told my wife, I said, I'm going to Indonesia and getting help, and I'm sticking with it this time. And I told her, I said, you do what you want to do, but I'm doing this because I need to do this for me. I said, when you want to come, you know where I'm at. And so she stayed on her little active addiction for 2 weeks. And finally she seen how good I was starting to do getting off of that shit and how much better I was doing in life. And she said, I want the same thing you have now. So she says, I'm going to start going with you back to Anonishki also. And so we both started. She came 2 weeks later, and we've been sober for almost 6 years now. And if it wasn't for our good bond with each other, I don't think this would even be possible.
Oh yeah, that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
6 years? Damn.
Yeah, and also my kids are a big part of it too, because I was out of their life all their lives because of drug and alcohol addiction. I always pushed them to the side when I should have been right there with them, and they grown up to despise me. And I mean, I don't blame them one bit. I don't hold no grudges against them because they feel some way towards me still. I know it's going to take time for them to get back to that point where we need to be.
Yeah.
But I guess the point is that they're at least letting me come back into their life, and that's why I'm striving to stick with it, because their happiness is what pushes me the most.
Yeah.
Because that just tore me up inside after I got sober for like so many years, and then I start talking to my daughter again, and I broke down how drug addiction took me away from them, and that's why. And I mean that tore me up so bad I was crying in front of her and everything. And she seen I was sincere about it because I was showing my emotions to her and stuff. Yeah. And so she seen I was being truthful with them, and that helped her. And now she lives with me. And I mean, she lives with me. Got grandkids too, so too young to be a grandpa, but here I am. Yeah. And also being around y'all too, like all y'all in class, that helps me a lot staying on this path. People talk about how our groups, we don't want to go to groups just to be able to get medicine and stuff to help us through all this. And they don't know the good that comes from these groups.
Yep.
Because they, like other people witness, they come to the groups and they see that we're all alike. Mm-hmm. We are exactly alike. It don't matter. We use needles. Somebody just snort it. It don't matter. We all still alike.
Yep.
And
like similar backgrounds for the majority of us.
Yeah. And then once they see that, then they start coming out of their shell and wanting to share their life story with us more instead of just sitting in class listening to everybody.
Yeah. And the part where they come out and they start sharing more and more, and I think what maybe keeps us from doing that at first is like maybe they're afraid of being judged.
Yeah.
But when they see that that's not the case, they start opening up more and more.
Yeah.
That's where a healing can take place.
Oh yeah.
That's processing all this shit they've been carrying around. And there's times even this far into our respective recoveries, from time to time, we'll still do that.
Yep.
We'll still, something comes up that you might have forgot about, or it might have been on the back burner, and you bring it out and you talk about it, and you get a little bit of feedback, just get some support.
Yeah.
And it really makes a difference. It makes a huge difference.
Yes, it does.
So, Jeremiah, what was the things that were most helpful to your recovery that you got from your family and friends?
Well, one thing I say the most helpful thing in my recovery was my friends that turned to using needles. Because once needles start becoming a big thing, they would if I was off at a party somewhere with them, somebody would say, "Hey, Frog, you wanna hit of this?" And I'll be like, "I never done that before." And then one of my cousins, he would always say, "Hey, don't be doing that shit." Yeah. They said, "Don't ever fucking give him none of that shit." And he would everywhere I be, he'd always be with me because we were like brothers growing up, and we always went everywhere together. But anytime somebody offered needles to me or something, he would jump their ass about it. He would get mad and tell them not to be trying that with me. He said, "Don't be ruining his life just because you want to ruin your own life with that stuff." He said, I don't want him in that life. But what I don't get, he did that with me, but he turned a bunch of our younger cousins on to that shit. But I was the only one they would never do that with. And that's what surprised me a lot.
Yeah, that's a strange dichotomy there.
Yeah, that's what I said. And it just didn't make any sense to me why he would want to keep just me away from that type of life, but bring in the younger generation into that life.
Do you think it was because your close relationship with him?
I think that had a lot to do with it because, like I said, growing up, I've helped him out so much in life that it should have helped him stay on the path like I was doing. I thought he would lead that path, but he didn't want to hear it after he seen how good I was doing. He just wanted to be like on a, how you say it, like make people feel sorry for him all the time.
Pity party.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. Yeah. I went through a phase of that myself.
Yeah, and he just stuck on that. So I just said, there ain't no helping him because he don't want the help. And
Things like having the pity party for yourself or blaming outside things or people or circumstances for the way things are going in a person's life. It's just, at the root of it's just a lack of accountability.
Yeah.
I mean, it certainly wasn't my case. It was I didn't want to take any responsibility for the choices that I was making. I mean, it was always something or someone else's fault. And in turn, that becomes a justification for just
it's always justifications. Always. That's what it comes down to. Every time we use, it's always a justification somewhere along the line. Why we're in that position.
Yep, damn sure is.
Yeah.
What are some of the things that you're most proud of and grateful in your recovery?
I'm most proud of the fact that I got to see myself and my wife do this journey together, because for a lot of couples that's a hard thing to do, because one wants to stray off and keep doing drugs and the other wants to stay on the straight and narrow. And it's easy for that person, the one that's on the straight and narrow, to get drugged back into that life because they want to please their partner. And with us, we just had a complete understanding. It just brought us closer together. And with her around, it makes it so much easier for me, because without her, I don't know, I'll probably be dead or something. And that's being truthful, because she gave me the ultimatum of being together or me cutting out the alcohol and trying to get off the drugs. And so that was kind of a hard decision with alcohol, because I mean, like you, Brant, that's a hard thing to kick. Because that's what we grew up doing before drugs. And I've drunk for about almost 30 years of my life. And that was a hard decision for me, but when it came down to it, I knew that I loved her more than I loved the high from alcohol, because the high from alcohol, I could get that anytime. The love from her, alcohol couldn't give me that kind of love and support. I mean, alcohol might hide the stuff that I need that support for, but it wasn't going to do nothing for me.
It's a different kind of high.
I get the high out of life now instead of the high off of drugs.
Absolutely.
And I love that high, because we never thought we would leave the reservation, but we've went on about 3 or 4 vacations already. Like,
went to San Francisco that time?
Yeah, went to California. We went to watch the 49ers play in New Orleans. We went to Florida. We've been everywhere so far, and that's just something we never thought we would do.
And recovery made all this possible.
Yes.
Ain't that something?
Exactly. That's what I said. If we all went back in time, I would tell my old self, don't fucking do that shit. Just walk away. But can't dwell on the past. Just dwell on right now and look forward to what's coming.
And there's a lot less stress and hardship and bullshit. Way less. When you're in recovery. The stuff you have to put up with in recovery, it's just like, it's just like grown people shit. You know?
Yeah.
You got bills to keep up with. You got to be to work. You know, you got to plan for stuff a little more. But you know, it's the worst day I've ever had in my recovery's a million times better than the best day I thought I was having in active addiction.
Yeah, for real,
Hands
man.
down.
For real.
And you're more level-headed now to deal with them problems and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
Learn
real.
healthy ways to do it.
Yeah, the first answer was always, I gotta get high.
Yeah. Say, well, I got some money. Let's go find us a pill or something to damn get through our system so we can get this damn shitty feeling out of the way.
Yeah. It was a maladaptive coping strategy.
Yeah.
So what were some of the challenges that you faced early in your recovery journey, and how did you overcome them?
Well, the biggest challenge for me was my depression, because that like kicked my ass most of my life. Because, like you said, I was kind of having a pity party, like you said.
Yeah.
Because I blamed myself for my brother's death all these years. And I mean, I know that was no reason for me to go and start, like, continue to use, because every time I would start thinking about him, and I would start saying, that's my fault that he died and stuff, so I better go use so I can quit feeling like this.
Because that's a painful.
Yeah.
You know, that's a lot of, you know, maybe guilt and just pain.
Yeah, it was. I think that was the biggest thing that led me to using drugs, was that. Because after that morning that he borrowed that money from me, and he went into the bootlegger and ended up wrecking and dying after that just tore me apart after that. And I just sunk into a deep hole, dark hole, where I didn't want no help from nobody, because I didn't think nobody could help me from that.
Didn't feel worthy.
Yeah, and so with that being a part of my depression, it just like triggered it over and over and over, always. And my wife would say, you need to get help, you need to go talk to somebody. And I'll be like, well, I said, even though I talk to somebody, that ain't gonna help me get over that. But that was just the justification, just so I can keep using drugs and shit.
Just to stay down in it.
Yeah, and eventually I went and got help and talked to a therapist, and that one talk did big dividends for me. It got me out of that slump, and that weight lifted off my shoulders.
Good, man.
And I just felt like a bright light shining upon me. It felt like it's like my brother was out there saying, I'm glad you finally realized that it wasn't your fault, that it was his own fault, because it was his actions that did it, not mine.
Yeah.
But
that's pretty profound,
yeah,
life-changing moment.
And another thing was, some of my family members were still in active addiction, and they would always come to my house and say, hey, can we stay tonight, because we ain't got nowhere to go.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, yeah. I said, you go ahead and stay tonight. And they'd be like, well, I said, one rule, don't be using drugs while you're in it. I said, if you do, you just go outside. But they didn't listen. And they was right there, and a couple times I end up like using with them. And so after that, they start stealing from me. That's when I was like, that's it. Yins are out for good. Don't ever ask to stay at my house again. I said, I ain't being an asshole or nothing. I said, but you brought this upon yourself. I said, I've been a good man to y'all. So, and family that's in active addiction seems to be the easiest people to go back to using with.
Yeah.
Because one of my cousins, she always got pills, because she had multiple surgeries on her like feet and back. So she would always have pills on her and shit. And she'd always call me up and say, yeah, you come down here and hang out with me. Like, yeah. I said, we'll be down there. She said, who's we? And I'd always have my woman and one of our other friends with us. And I kind of like punk her out and make her share her pills with us. Because I'd be asking, you ready to go? And I'd be like, yeah, hold on. So she's going to damn crush up some pills with us. And she would do it. She would look mad at me, but she would do it anyway. I guess she was kind of intimidated, but I knew that too, and that's why I did it.
Well, she wants you to come back and hang out.
Yeah, but then she caught on to what I was doing eventually, and then she like stayed in her room, and so I was like, yeah, I better just cut that shit out and leave her be.
And that's, early in recovery. Who's going to say no to an invitation?
Yes,
to use,
for real.
I mean, if you're like in that stage where you're in the contemplative stage, the wishy-washy stage, and somebody's just like, hey, want some free stuff?
Yeah.
Damn,
You ain't gonna say, oh no, so I'm trying to quit.
No.
Yeah, I'm with you where we're going. Yeah, and like I did do that with a bunch of my friends too, early in recovery. Like they wouldn't have nothing, and I never. I'm pretty sure everybody never liked using by themselves. I always had to have somebody use it, 'cause I could never use anything with just by myself like that. And I'd call up my cousin. I'd be like, you want to use this with me or do some of this? And they're like, hell yeah. I said, damn, we couldn't find. They'd be acting like they had money, saying we couldn't find nothing.
I think that's back to that old saying, misery loves company.
Yeah,
That's probably the most, the best example of it.
Oh yeah, for real. And
especially if you're in a full swing of withdrawal, and you want to get out of the lifestyle, you want to stop using, but you're sick as a fucking dog.
Oh yeah.
And then free shit comes along, which seems like it never does until you're like ready to quit and ready to walk away from it.
Yeah, then it comes all back on you.
It makes it real challenging to stay on your path,
Yeah, and
it's tough.
Like, especially in early recovery, that's where these younger people that's just now coming into groups and stuff, like, while we try to give them advice, like, I just hope they, like, listen to our advice. Because, I mean, we do know what we're talking about. We know the struggles that they're probably going through, because we went through the struggle, too, just like they did. But like that girl at class that night, we thought she was there to, like, actually try to get help, but she was just there to justify her damn going back, having a reason to go back to using. She said, I'm just doing this so I can get my kids, and then I'm going to go back to using again. And I said, well, why are you even...
What's the point then?
Yeah, why are you even here trying if you already got in your mind that you're going to go and start using again right after you get your kids back? You're just going to have them taken right back away from you again.
Without any consideration of like what it's doing to them.
Yeah. Kids equal money, probably.
Yeah, that's the truth right there. That's the main reason that girls want their kids back, is so they can get the money from the dad. And I never was on board with that. But like y'all said, early recovery is a damn bitch to get out of and away from.
Yeah, that's why it took me like 5 times to get to 5 years, because you make it 6 months.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be listening to early recovery. You're like, yeah, I'm doing it.
Yeah, and like the first time we tried to do recovery, our first journey, we got like almost a year in, and then we failed a drug test. And like, so they gave her let her do another test, but they didn't let me do that. They just automatically said, yeah, he's using. And I tried to explain to them that we never been using anything. So she ended up passing her drug test, but they said I failed mine. They didn't let me do another one. So once they did that pissed me off so bad. So I went back out and I started using again. And I was like, fuck, they wanted to say I'm using, I'm gonna fucking start using then. And that's what took us off of the straight path we was on.
Right.
And also my wife's grandma, she was like her mom. After she passed away, that tore her up big time. And then after her grandma passed away and we found out, she just took it so hard. And I don't know what made me ask her. I said, you want to go buy some perk 10s from this person? And she said, yeah, let's go. And so I called that person and I said, I need $200 worth of perk 10s, and got them. They said, yeah, come on up. And that's another thing that drug us. Yeah, that's the big thing right there that made us fall back into that shit.
It's like a series of just bad decisions.
Yeah, just fucking.
That happens quick too.
Yeah.
It happens quick.
And damn, after that too, that woman from Georgia, she heard that I was back on that shit, and she was right back at my fucking house door. She said, "Hey, can you make me damn $2,500 by a couple days?" I'll be like, "Yep, just hand them here." He said, "All right, then." There I was, fucking using all my 30s up. See, if I just sold them, I probably could have made about as much as I made her. That's how much she let me have.
Damn.
But I used them up like that night.
I think for a lot of us, what gets us to the point where we don't want to live like that anymore, we want to quit, we want to be in recovery. I think it's that point you get to where when you use, you're not even using to achieve a high.
Yeah.
You're using predominantly to keep from being sick.
Yep, that's
to
it.
just feel fucking normal.
Yep.
Because it's, for me, it was only 2, maybe 3 times a year when I had actually had the money to really use a whole enough to produce a high. The rest of the time it was like just to keep from being sick.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I say. I ain't wasting no more money just to feel normal when I can go get help for free at the hospital.
Yeah.
And after that, I start having money, and everybody starts seeing it, and my family start trusting us more.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know they still like one side of my family still likes to talk behind our back, but that's gonna be anywhere.
Yeah. There's probably always gonna be naysayers or haters or whatnot.
Yeah.
But with time and consistency, people see it in your life, your day-to-day life. They just do. They see how your physical appearances are better, you're healthier. They see you're productive, responsible, trustworthy. I mean, and some come back, sooner at their own times. Some sooner than others, but with enough time.
Yeah, and that's like my mom. That's like my mom. She said that's why I never would answer your calls or messages when you call me. She said when you was using. She said, because I knew that's all you was wanting me to call me for was to get money so you can go out and get you something.
Yeah.
She said, I wasn't going to contribute to you possibly killing yourself. And I said, I'm glad that you did it that way. I said, because it did help out and me not having what I needed. So, because if I did have the money, I probably been buying worse shit than I had.
And then you wouldn't have to. All right. Now you don't have her saying no, you just know that she wasn't there.
Yeah, now she's like all proud and she tells me all that all the time. She said, I'm glad that you straightened your ass up finally. Said, and you got your kids back in life and that's what you've always wanted. I said, exactly. I said, if you wasn't so hard on us and being stingy, then I said, probably wouldn't be this way still.
It's crazy how, our family, especially our family, when you're in active use, it really feels like they don't fucking love you no more. They're just being shitty towards you. They might even hate you, and all these things. You're looking at it through the lens of, through being an active addiction. It's not until you get enough recovery time and rebuild those relationships that you realize that
they did love you and they were just trying to show you tough love.
Yeah, they just wasn't going to contribute to, like you said, you possibly your own demise.
Yeah.
But it's damn near impossible to see it like that when you're out there and you're using. It's not until you really, with a clear mind, can think about stuff, in your recovery and be like, well, you know what? They did a lot different towards me now because I'm doing better now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's...
And see, another thing with the early recovery and groups, like when we first started, when all three of us first started at Annisky, when it was down in Birdtown and then at the old Mountain Credit Union
That's
building.
where I started,
It wasn't, the classes weren't like they are now. It was like everybody was always just quiet and didn't want to talk at all.
Yeah.
Everybody just felt weird around each other. But then it's like, once it moved up from Birdtown to the Mountain Federal, people started talking a little more. Then once that moved to the hospital, and it wasn't so harsh as like the rules ain't as bad as they was for us.
Yeah.
Now they got it easy compared to what we had to do.
Dosing, there's like a 4-hour window.
Yeah.
It was 45 minutes.
Yeah,
when
that's
that
right.
was
Yeah, that's what I say. If you ain't here if you ain't here at 7 o'clock, then you just shit out of luck.
Yeah.
You gotta miss your dose. You gotta come back in the morning.
Yep, 7:46.
Yeah.
A minute late. Sorry about your luck.
And now, like you said, it's a 4-hour window that they get to go up there and get their medicine to help them get through the day.
And you get a transit pass, which gets you from home to your hospital and back free. So
Yeah.
there's no excuse to not have a ride or to get there on time because there's
Yeah.
a 4-hour window.
For real.
You know?
Yeah, transit might be late, but they ain't gonna be that late.
They gonna be, you call them at 7, they're not gonna show up 4 hours later.
No
you know?
doubt. And
then they don't like coming to our groups.
yeah,
You should come to our groups. It's like, it's we talk recovery, of course, but then a lot of it is just
joking.
laughing.
Yeah.
Everybody, like the new people, even they see how much we laughing in these groups. They love coming back and talking shit with everybody. Because without laughter, there's no fun in nothing.
Yeah.
Because if you're just gonna be a person that's gonna be like living in dark days or something that don't like to have fun, then you're just setting yourself up for failure again because you're just gonna find a way to justify using again.
Yeah.
But that's why I say that's why I like being around y'all, because of how much jokes everybody's got towards each other, and like nobody gets mad about it. Somebody says something to them, and they just laugh about it. You're full of shit, man.
Because it's in good fun.
Yeah. And then more and more start showing up the group, and like everybody's talking, and not just certain ones.
Because I remember in addiction, at the end, there wasn't much laughing.
Yeah.
If you wasn't high,
Yeah.
You just kept looking at the watch and at the clock.
Yeah.
Gotta make this minimum amount of groups this month so I can still keep
I gotta go and meet this person. I need to hurry up.
Yeah.
But
it's crazy how things have changed in the MAT program. It's all been for the better, though.
Yeah, but I think also though that they need to be a little more harsh with the like they were. Like if they suspect somebody of being high in group, then they need to do like they did when we was
Take
in
them out
group.
and
Screen them right off like they did us. But they cut that out, and now it's just. But I'm glad people come. That's what matters.
Yeah.
They're trying.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's all about harm reduction.
Yeah.
And that's part of it. So it's good, you know. The last question I had, and it's a no-brainer, you know, but where would you be without your recovery?
Dead.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. I would be dead. There's no doubt about it. Because I about killed myself so many times when I was drunk or high.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, the depression too, it was so bad that I mean, like when I was younger, I even tried to shoot myself and it didn't, the gun just never would go off. So I guess that was a sign from God that I was meant to be here for some reason or another.
For sure.
Yeah, and so I would seriously, I would be dead. I would not lie, I would be dead. Because I would be either dead from overdosing on some shit, because I don't know how to fucking quit nothing. Or I'd probably be dead from wrecking my car and killing myself.
Or even, you know, there's the risk of contagious, infectious disease, you know, that can kill you. There's all kinds of shit, you know, like driving under the influence or just tainted drugs, especially nowadays.
Yeah.
Like, fentanyl is in fucking everything.
For real. Even weed now. That's what's crazy. I never thought fentanyl would make it to weed. And that's
Yeah, them shits.
That just blows my mind how they even thought of that. But
Probably makes money.
yeah, but
I mean, that's it.
But without having friends like y'all, I don't think I would have been here. I really wouldn't. Because people like y'all are very helpful in sticking with this. Because I like being around people that I could have a good time with,
Absolutely.
without having to use drugs to have a good time.
Yeah.
And that's what I said. I went to school with Brant, so I've known him all my life.
Yeah, battling out at the QCC.
Oh yeah, exactly, man. Yep. So
I had to play for Paintown Big Y. I don't think we ever won. Fucking never. We got participation trophies one year.
But me seeing Brant, how he's progressed though, that you really like give me, how you say it?
Inspiration?
Yes, inspiration to stick with this, because I love how you want to keep getting more and more knowledge and trying to pass it on to everybody else that don't have that knowledge. I love that about you, and I praise you on that, man. Stick with that.
So I'm thankful for you here, because I like your knowledge.
Yeah. And that's what's good about it, because we all help each other out in ways that we don't help ourselves out.
Right. It's we, all of us that are in long-term recovery inspire each other just by seeing each other do well, to continue to do well.
Yeah.
And maybe, I wouldn't say it's a responsibility. It could be, but, maybe it's up to us to show all these young cats getting into recovery that with enough commitment and time and making smart choices and being safe, you can rebuild your life, your relationships with your family.
Yep.
You can become productive. You can become healthy. Your wellness can improve and be where we're at.
Yep.
It's fucking totally possible. 100% possible.
And you get more than you thought you would ever have.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
They would.
We're stuck in that. This is what we deserve.
Yeah.
I just deserve to be clean. That's all I need.
Yep.
But as you get further along, I deserve more. I deserve more.
Yeah.
But the only way to get there is you just have to do the work.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hard work and commitment.
Yep. But it's so worth it. It's so worth it.
It is.
Nothing that I have that I treasure that means something to me. It wouldn't be possible without my recovery.
Yeah.
I mean, just flat out. My recovery is the foundation from which everything I love comes from.
Yeah. And one thing I want to say too is I don't care what some people think, because we use Suboxone to help with this recovery.
Oh yeah.
I don't care what they say. They say
either.
we're on drugs, then screw them, because we're not on drugs. If we was on drugs, we wouldn't be in this position we are now. All of us are living life up here when we all used to live down here.
Yeah. That's down there was drug life. Up here is recovery life.
Yeah.
And medications play an important part of that.
Yeah.
It's not for everybody, but that's okay.
Yeah. True.
Whoever it works for, that's the point.
Yeah. As long as it's helping that person stay away from that life.
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
And you can see the difference, if somebody's in medication assisted treatment and somebody who's using drugs. You can just see it in just how they cope with life.
Yeah.
And how they're living. It's a stark contrast. It's night and day.
Yep. That's the truth.
And when everybody ever tells me that Suboxone is a crutch, I say it is a crutch.
Yeah.
Because if you're in addiction, you're broken.
Yep.
Yeah.
And what you do if you have a broken leg, you use a crutch.
Yeah.
You can walk on your own.
Exactly.
Or you get some braces or whatever.
Yeah. It's helping us until we can walk on our own.
Yeah.
And some people may not ever be able to walk on their own.
Yes, for real.
But that's all right. At least they're walking.
Yep.
We could be in a grave,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
but we're walking.
That's just it. Alive, being productive to whatever capacity we are, and not, family don't have to worry about getting that call. Hey,
Yep.
we found your son dead.
Yep.
Or being in a longhouse or being obituary in the paper.
Yep.
Don't have to worry about none of that.
Or worse, if you live with them, they have to come in your room and find you.
Yeah.
On your couch.
No doubt. For real.
Yeah, that's the real tragedy of it all, is the life that's lost.
Yeah. Because I've lost a lot of my friends
Yeah.
from alcohol and drug addiction.
Yeah.
And if I can at least help one friend out and getting away from that, then I think I've succeeded
Yeah.
in what I'm looking at doing.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And
'Cause-
everybody else can be collateral victories.
yeah,
I didn't mean to help him, but I'm glad I did.
Yeah.
Right. Absolutely.
Because a lot of this is selfish. My recovery, I'm doing it for myself.
yeah.
If I'm helping other people, that is what does give you a little extra feeling.
And we all gotta be selfish, though. We have to be selfish in our recovery.
There's like there's two different types of selfishness.
Yeah.
Just like there's two different types of pride. You know,
Yeah.
there's a pride you can have in your accomplishments or your family or things like your achievements. And also there's the kind of pride that kind of makes you like just makes you a fucking dickhead.
Yeah.
And then there's also the selfishness that is destructive, and then the other kind that helps you reclaim your life and recover.
Yeah.
And that's the difference.
Yep. Just
And-
knowing the difference in those.
And choosing the right one.
Yep.
Choosing the right one. Good. All right.
You ain't got anything else for
No.
this episode?
Rally for Recovery's coming up.
I like to have Brian back.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love to come back. Like I said, I love being around y'all guys.
Yeah,
Anytime.
so next time we'll just do like we always do, where we just pick a topic and talk about that. It
Yeah.
won't be as much about you.
Heck yeah. But I don't mind telling anybody about me because, like I said, most of our addiction lives are about the same, led up to the addiction anyway.
Yeah. And our time in it
Yeah.
and the climb out of it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so this week, this Friday, July 14th, at the Birdtown Gym, the Peaches Squirrel Complex, the Rally for Recovery will be there, 2 to 5 p.m.
Hell yeah.
We'll see you there.
Right.
Heck yeah, and I don't know if there's any other things going on this week that I know of, except there's some trainings going on that I'll be participating in.
No.
Blue for Ashes.
Yep.
And a recovery coach the next week.
Yep.
Oh,
Recovery
yeah, I
Coach
forgot
Academy.
you got to do that.
They're this one's full, but there's going to be another one coming up in like I think maybe September sometime.
Oh, really?
So
Heck yeah.
and it's open to the community.
Yeah.
So
Might have to
sign up
attend
for
that.
it.
Yeah.
Take advantage of the ones they offer. And
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
It's free. You don't have to pay for it.
And
Yeah.
if the tribe's not paying for it, or probably Sunrise help paying for it, it's probably going to cost you $250, $300 to take in classes.
I think it's actually like closer to like 800 a seat.
Yeah,
something like that, man. So, but yeah, Sunrise
Yeah, take advantage when you can.
is putting it on. Yeah, we're gonna have some great trainers there.
Heck
And it
yeah.
helps. It adds to your peer support. If you're going for your peer support, it's good for them hours, that 40 hours, and that 20 credit hours after.
Heck yeah, man. That's good.
So it's all for
So yourself.
learning, harm reduction, recovery, all
Yep.
that good stuff. All that good stuff.
Just another tool in your tool belt is like I like to see.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So if you don't have anything else, just thank you for joining us today on
Thank you for
Fire
having me.
Recovery. And as always, I'm Brant Grant,
Bumper Smith.
Jeremiah Pheasant.
Firekeeper Recovery, and we'll leave the light on for you. Eastern Bay, Cherokee, Firekeeper Recovery. We the firekeepers, the firekeepers, the firekeepers, the firekeepers. Yeah. Coming to you live from the mountains of smoke. Firekeeper Recovery, bringing you hope. If you're living in darkness, look for the light, cause our fire is burning and they're helping you fight. It's the firekeepers, the firekeepers, 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 firekeepers. Recovery, bumping BG, talk recovery.